In the quiet towns of Pennsylvania, some mysteries refuse to be silenced. A young man, full of life and promise, simply vanished. In an age saturated with surveillance, where every step seems digitally traceable, how can someone disappear without a single, undeniable trace? This is the perplexing case of Caden Black, a story that leaves behind more questions than answers, and a family desperate for the truth. But before we delve into Caden's disappearance, we want to thank today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. Their support allows us to offer a higher hope grant to Caden's family, aiding their search for answers. In today's digital world, online privacy and security are paramount. ExpressVPN shields your data, ensuring your activities remain private and secure. It encrypts your network traffic, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information, even on public Wi-Fi networks. Their best-in-class encryption would take billions of years for a supercomputer to crack, providing unparalleled peace of mind. ExpressVPN also allows you to unblock content from streaming services worldwide by changing your IP address. They offer the fastest speeds, 24/7 customer support, and trusted server technology. Take control of your online security and privacy. Find out how to get up to 4 months free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description, or visiting ExpressVPN.com. Caden Black was born on December 10, 2003, in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, to Cara Patterson and Maurice Black. Growing up with 2 older and 2 younger siblings, Caden primarily lived with his mother after his parents divorced when he was 3. Caden was a whirlwind of energy, an athlete who excelled in everything he pursued. At Eastern York High School, he was a wide receiver on the football team and a track and field runner. Outside of school, he was passionate about basketball, BMX riding, and boxing, harboring dreams of competing professionally. His father described him as someone who did everything at 100%, constantly active, often hitting the gym twice a day or embarking on epic bike rides. Once, he completed a 51-mile ride in just 4 hours, simply to prove he could. Caden possessed a vibrant, infectious personality. Known for his kindness, humor, and willingness to help, he was a beloved figure in his small town, often acting as a big brother to his peers. He would stay after football practice to help struggling teammates, radiating a presence that brightened any room. His deep, joyful laugh was particularly adored by his family, a unique sound that his mother, Cara, remembers vividly. Yet, beneath this energetic exterior, Caden wrestled with significant mental health challenges. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, anxiety, OCD tendencies, oppositional defiance disorder, ODD, and was on the autism spectrum. ODD is a behavioral disorder often seen in children, characterized by arguing, outbursts, and defiance toward authority figures. Caden exhibited some of these symptoms, which, while not defining his character, played a role in events leading up to his disappearance. In 2019, Caden's life took a significant turn when his mother accepted a job promotion in Maryland, moving Caden and his 2 younger brothers with her. Initially, Caden adjusted, attending a school he liked, but its lack of sports programs was a major drawback for such an active young man. A transfer to another school offered sports, but failed to provide a sense of belonging. Caden grew increasingly unhappy in Maryland, feeling disconnected from his friends and routine in Wrightsville, despite it being only an hour away. Seeking a return to familiarity, Caden asked to move in with his father, Maurice, in East Prospect, just minutes from Wrightsville. Cara, prioritizing her son's happiness, agreed, and in November 2021, Caden moved back. However, his troubles continued. Upon returning to Eastern York High, Caden frequently became embroiled in fights, often standing up to bullies, a trait his father attributed to his strong sense of justice. These altercations led to his expulsion, forcing him to attend Paradise School, a small private special education school 45 minutes away, specializing in emotional and behavioral issues. Caden resented attending Paradise School, a sentiment that became tragically apparent on April 4, 2022. That day, during his bus ride home, Caden was not in his assigned seat. The bus driver, reportedly fed up with Caden's insubordination, pulled the bus over on the major highway, wrote 30, and demanded Caden exit. While Pennsylvania school bus driver manuals outline assertive discipline, forcing a student off a bus on a highway appears to fall outside acceptable conduct. Cadden refused to comply, leading to a heated exchange. According to the criminal complaint, the driver claimed Cadden threw a clipboard and slammed the bus door. The driver also alleged Cadden grabbed him by the throat and struck him. Cadden, in turn, threatened the driver when his hair was grabbed. Cadden's mother later claimed bus surveillance footage showed Cadden acting in self-defense. Regardless of the precise sequence, police were called, and Cadden was arrested, facing serious felony charges including aggravated assault, simple assault, strangulation, and recklessly endangering another person. In York County, individuals awaiting trial are sent to state prison. Due to court backlogs from the pandemic, Cadden's bail wasn't set until April 13th, over a week after the incident. His $25,000 bail was posted on April 17th, and he returned to Maurice's home, never to return to Paradise School. At just 18, Cadden had endured nearly 2 weeks in prison, a traumatic experience for anyone, especially a teenager. Months later, Cadden again found himself in a volatile situation, this time a significant fight with his father and his fiancée. Maurice recounted that Cadden was off, burning pictures of himself, deeply angry. This disturbing act led to police intervention, and Cadden was placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold (302) in Pennsylvania at York Hospital for evaluation. It's crucial to understand these incidents not as a judgment of Cadden, but as potential factors in his disappearance. The media often labeled him a troubled teen, a term that can unfairly diminish the urgency of a missing persons case. Cadden was a good kid, struggling with profound emotional and mental health issues, desperately needing help. The altercation with his father inadvertently set Cadden on a new path, introducing a pivotal figure, Chris Fest. Chris was the father of Ethan, one of Cadden's friends since middle school. Cadden had spent countless hours at the Fest home, playing video games and swimming. Chris, a former air traffic controller with theological training, visited Cadden daily during his hospital stay, offering comfort and spiritual guidance. He claimed Cadden was initially unwell, but stabilized with medication. After the psychiatric hold, Cadden had to return to prison for several weeks, as the fight occurred while he was on probation. Chris observed bruises and wounds on Cadden during visits, highlighting the difficult ordeal. When bail was eventually set, Cadden was prohibited from returning to his father's home. The Faust family offered him a place to stay. Cadden, now 18, accepted. They reportedly cleared and repainted a room for him, even buying a new bed. Despite their 3-bedroom home already housing Chris, his wife, and 2 teenage children, Cadden settled in. He seemed to thrive, looking for work, pursuing his GED, and even starting a lawn care business, though stolen equipment set him back. Chris and Cadden bonded over their shared active lifestyles, regularly cycling and hitting the gym together. They also began restoring an old Toyota 4Runner, a gift from Cadden's mother. Cadden eventually secured a part-time job with a moving company. By all accounts, Cadden's life appeared to be stabilizing. Then, just a week after his 19th birthday, Cadden Black vanished. Despite their sometimes tumultuous relationship, Cadden maintained contact with his father. Every Sunday, he would visit Maurice's home to take their family dogs for a run, a ritual he never missed, driven by his love for the animals and concern for their exercise. But on Sunday, December 18, 2022, Cadden never arrived. Maurice, having spoken to Cadden the day before, immediately grew concerned. He called Chris, who claimed Cadden was likely sleeping in his room. Throughout Sunday, Maurice's calls and texts to Cadden went unanswered. The next day, Cadden missed his shift at the moving company, an uncharacteristic absence. By Tuesday, having still heard nothing, Maurice called Chris again. This time, Chris admitted Cadden was not there. Cara, Cadden's mother, then received a call from Chris, asking if she had seen him. She had last spoken to Cadden on the 14th about Christmas plans, but now had no idea where he was. The exact sequence of these calls remains somewhat unclear due to limited information, but it appears Chris finally checked Cadden's room on Tuesday, realizing he was gone. That day, Chris filed a missing persons report with the Lower Windsor Township Police Department. A crucial detail emerges here. Chris's initial dismissal of Cadden's absence on Sunday, followed by his realization on Tuesday. Chris later stated he hadn't seen Cadden since Saturday night. According to him, Cadden declined an invitation to a car show, instead eating dinner with the Fists. He then wanted to go karting, but Chris wasn't interested. Caden then called a boxing gym, only to learn it was closing. This call was verified. After these activities, Chris claimed Caden retreated to his room for the night. This was the last confirmed sighting of Caden Black. Unlike many missing persons cases, law enforcement immediately took Caden's disappearance seriously.